Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm just going to wait for you guys to tune in, comment, say hi. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I think I don't have YouTube on today, or my service is bad. I'm not sure. Hi, Rare Jam. Good morning. Let me know if this is your first time. Hi, Delroy. Rare Jam says good morning. Good morning, Arewa. Um, if you're on YouTube, let me know if YouTube is working today. Oh, yeah, I see someone from YouTube. Good morning, Ngazi. How are you? Good morning, Sexy Sasha. Question from New York. Sure. What's your question? Ken's Man, official from Dallas. Good morning. Era says, I'm here for my good news. What do you mean you're here? Are you here in the office? Someone said, I called your office, but no one picked up. Echo Baby, what time did you call? Call us again, 407 or you can send a WhatsApp to 404-333-8751 and leave your phone number there, and someone will call you back, okay? Um, how long does it take to process an I-131? The answer really depends. It depends on are you doing like an emergency one? Are you doing it with your application? Could take anywhere from 4 to 9 months. Emergency ones can take like a week, a couple of days. So it all depends. JKM Cuisine from Delaware. Good morning. Bad Badia. Good morning. Good morning, Anne. Good morning, Ms. Vivalicious. Dora Lynn. Good morning, Anne. Good morning. So many Annes today. Someone says, I love the new hairstyle. Thank you so much. I actually was like, oh my gosh, my hair is so dark, but my hair is actually this black, but I just wasn't used to it after putting highlights in my hair. But thank you. Femi Shalu's first time. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. Let me introduce myself formally. My name is Aisha Chidole. I'm an immigration lawyer, and I represent clients all over the U.S. and internationally with immigrating to the U.S. to get your green card or your U.S. citizenship. My number here is 407-995-6567. You can also send a WhatsApp to 404-333-8751. I keep getting like an error on my Instagram, so I think my Wi-Fi is having issues. So if you guys are, if I'm blurry or something on Instagram, let me know. So we handle humanitarian-based cases, family-based cases, VAWA, T visas, U visas, marriage-based cases, fiance, naturalization, and all of that good stuff. Okay. Let me just jump right into the questions. How long does how was that? Oh gosh, I just missed that one. McDonough from North Dakota, welcome. Good morning. How long? Okay, there it goes. How long after getting married does it take to get a receipt notice? Well, you have to submit an application. Once you submit an application, it could take anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. Every case is different, but that's more of the average timeline. I got a 4-year extension on my adjustment of status. Is that normal? Extension of what? You're probably talking about, actually, I'm not sure what you're talking about because there's no such thing as an extension and an adjustment of status. So I'm going to assume you're probably talking about an I-751 and you submitted an I-751 application. If you submitted an I-751 application, which is a removal of conditions on a 2-year temporary green card, right? So if that is what you're talking about, yes, you will get a 48-month extension on the expiration of your green card. So whatever date that's on your green card, add 4 years to it, that's when it will expire. It doesn't mean that it's going to take them 4 years to process your green card. It just means that, they want the time to process your case. Most cases in that category take about 2 years, but they don't want people to have to keep coming for InfoPass and asking for like an added stamp and all of that stuff. So that's why they're giving, the 4-year green cards. My question is, how long will it take to sponsor a spouse outside of the United States? The answer really depends on the country the person is. And what your own status is. Are you a U.S. citizen or are you a green card holder? If you're a green card holder, it's going to take a longer time right now because visas are not available. And so they would not be considered an immediate relative. I will have to check the visa bulletin for me. But if you are a U.S. citizen filing, then, it can take you anywhere from 18 to 24 months. How long does advanced program work permit take to get to me after approval? So if it's been approved, it can take, most of the time, like 2 weeks, sometimes 3, because sometimes they can approve something and then either they send it to production and it takes a long time before they mail it out. But on average, 2 weeks, I would say, is normal. My friend's VAWA got approved last month. When will she expect her green card? She filed the I-360 and green card together. Congratulations to your friend. The green card usually will come, a couple of months after the VAWA approval, usually depending on if she sent a medical exam then. If she sent a medical exam then, when she submitted, most likely she needs a new medical exam, because the medical exam, if she followed a normal timeline, the medical exam requirements have changed. So they will either request a medical exam from her, or they will ask her to bring it to an interview. And that right now can take 4 weeks to like a couple of months, 1 to 3 months. I would say before we're seeing it like from like 3 to 6 months. We're seeing it quicker right now. Give or take, she should be done with everything hopefully in like 4 to 6 months, hopefully max. And if not, then she needs to see what's going on with that. After filing a motion to reopen your case and you receive a letter saying they've received it, what do you do next? At this point, you're just going to wait for them to decide. Are they going to approve the motion to reopen so that they can review it again and make a decision, or are they going to deny it? Lillian Kayama, please, is your office in Georgia? Yes, it is in Georgia. Ms. Vibration says new hairstyle is given. Yes, thank you so much. Aisha says, how long does it take for a travel document when applying with I-485? Same timeline that I just gave earlier, 4 to 9 months. Definitely seen a lot of people get it at the 5.5 month window, 6.5. That's what we're seeing right now. Pretty in Pink, Kenya Fashion Police. Thank you. This is my favorite color. I'm sure you guys know by now. Or maybe you don't know. This is my favorite color. Even my wedding colors were pink and yellow. Dream Queen of Hearts. Beautiful attorney. I love this outfit and makeup today. Thank you so much. Leonisa says possible. I can hear the phones ringing. Call 407-995-6567. So call. And if you're still having issues calling, send a message on WhatsApp to our WhatsApp number, 404-333-8751. So someone can call you. But it should be ringing if you're calling the correct number. Just make sure you're not calling any other, I'm sure you guys know that there are a lot of scammers right now. And I'm like, there's so many people impersonating us immigration lawyers. I can't tell you how many pages we've had to report, with people that have my full face, take pictures from my page and say they're me. So you have to be really careful and make sure that if you're on Instagram, and that's why I tend to use Instagram mostly, because I'm verified on Instagram. So you can see the blue check mark. If there is no blue check mark, official check mark on there, it is most likely not me. If this number does not match the phone number on my Google contacts or a website, it is most likely not me. So make sure that you're calling the correct number. Okay. Okay. When doing VAWA, what if I don't have any proof that my spouse is a U.S. citizen? Usually we have ways to get verification that your spouse is a U.S. citizen. Contact us, hire us, so you don't have to worry about that. So we can do it for you. Africana Shega says, I love how you keep winning cases every week. Shows that you're doing something good. Thank you so much. I really, really think it is important to have social proof in a world where so many people, post all sorts of things. And, this is y'all's lives, and your future. So I think it is so important that if people are saying that they represent clients and they're winning X, Y, and Z, that they show proof that they're winning those cases, because it's an investment that you guys are making on your future. And for a lot of people, is the difference between you being separated with your family, experiencing extreme hardship, if there's a deportation. So I very much believe in showing proof. I don't hide anything. You can go on my Google, you can go look for me in the Florida bar, in the New York bar, in the Georgia bar. I'm licensed in every single one of those states. I post my results. My clients post their own comments and results, and so I think it's very, very important that when you're hiring a lawyer, you want to see, some history of success. Now, is that to say sometimes you can do everything you can and somebody may not be successful? Yes, that can happen. But I just think it's important that if someone is saying that they're doing this, that, and this, that they're showing social proof of what it is they're doing to help people make a decision, knowing that their cases are in the right hand and it's just not talk for social media. Virgo says, do you work with deportation cases? Some of them, it depends on what it is. Senabas says, what is the Leonisa Lloydy? So you said you left a message on Instagram and WhatsApp. I am going to check my Instagram message when I get off. When I finish with one of my appointments today, I'm going to check to see and make sure. Let me just write your name on here so I don't forget. Leonisa Leo. Sorry, guys. Let me just write this down so that I make sure that she gets called back. Cineboss, my number is 407-995-6567. Okay. How long does it take before you get an interview date for your green card process? It really depends. It depends on your lawyer. I mean, not your lawyer, your field office. A lot of people are definitely not getting interviews right now. I mean, let me retract myself, because last week and the week before, I had so many interviews. So people are definitely getting interviews. A lot of people, we definitely have a lot of clients not getting interviews, but there are also clients getting interviews. But I always say most cases will take 9 to 13 months on average, and maybe hopefully you won't get called for an interview. Mary says, how long does it take to get a U visa approved after a bona fide determination? I waited 5.5 years. Honestly, your guess is as good as mine. U visas take a really, really long time, So, you just kind of have to wait. When someone gets an immigration letter to return home to collect their papers because they came through the border without any papers, your question is not finished, so it's hard for me to answer that. So if you want to expand on the question, I will be able to answer that. I did sponsor my dad. He got a visa. He came here, but his green card will come in 2 to 3 months. Is that true? And if he wants, I don't understand what you wrote. So you're saying that he's sick and he wants to go back home. Is that what you're saying? I'm not sure if that's what you're saying, but if he is a green card holder and he's already here and his green card hasn't come and he wants to go back, you said his mom is very sick. What you can do, or your dad can do, is you can schedule an info pass. And then you go into the local USCIS field office, and then they can stamp a temporary green card on his passport to allow him to go back home to see his mom before his green card comes. Depending on when you paid for your immigrant visa fee, whether you paid for it when you entered into the country. Like I know the one that we just got a couple of weeks ago, they came in right after I came back from Nigeria. So we did that around like March 10th, and they got it about April 10th. So about 1 month was how long it took them to get their green card. Chris Datman, thank you so much. Drama Queen of Hearts, she's beautiful and brilliant. Thank you so much. Um, I have a vow case going on. It's been 2 years and I'm waiting, but I just had a child with my girlfriend. Is that going to be a problem with my vow case? No, it's not going to be a problem with your vow case. If you do get scheduled for an interview, you definitely do not want to lie about that. You want to be candid about that so that they can add that into your amend your I-485 application to include the additional child, so that when you are applying for naturalization, that you have no issue. One thing you guys have to remember is that with a valid case, you're essentially saying that your spouse is abusive. You want to leave that relationship. So, if you leave that relationship, USCIS is not expecting you to be celibate and never be with anyone for the rest of your life. So it's okay to move on. Now, that being said, you cannot remarry until they make a decision on your case. If you remarry, they'll say you've abandoned your petition. So you can live with your girlfriend, but just don't marry her. But the child is fine. Okay. So do I need to bring my spouse to my N400 interview based on 3 years of marriage? Yes, you do. You have to show that you guys are in continuous marital harmony and union and living together. Living together is very important for the 3-year requirement for naturalization. I received an RFE for an I-485. However, the mail got lost in the pot and the deadline to respond has passed. Oh no. What can I do? It's for an adjustment of status application. You can try and call USCIS or do an e-service inquiry and just let them know what happened. I don't know. I don't know how long the deadline is. The thing is, USCIS has an opportunity to exercise discretion in certain areas. Like, I'll give you an example. There was a client that came to us for an abeyance VAWA, but she had a previous adjustment of status case. And after we got her VAWA approved, we're like, okay, we're waiting for the interview. Even though USCIS knew we were now representing her, they still sent her RFE to her previous lawyer. Her previous lawyer gave the client the RFE to bring her medical, but the client just forgot. Like, she completely forgot about it. And so she was like, guys, when am I going to get my green card? And I went like, we got an we're waiting on it, the RFE or whatever it is. Like, we don't have anything. There was nothing updated on there. And then I said, are you sure they didn't send it to your previous lawyer? And she was like, and so we sent this like 2 months later, explaining that, she just didn't know that's what she received because it was sent to the wrong address in the first place, not our address. They allowed it and she got her green card. So you can just explain to them, you lost it, the deadline has passed, but, you're very committed to your immigration process and they've not made a decision. The thing is, do you know what the RFE requested? So at least you can start gathering all of those things before you make that call so you can submit it right away. Rare Gem, thank you so much for actually posting my phone number. I have pinned it here. I appreciate you. Blue Trillion says, good morning, Miss Aisha. How are you? Been a while. Oh yeah, I was saying the last 2 weeks have been so busy for me. Is it possible to process from an F1 to a green card? Technically, yes. It depends on what you're processing from. Like, directly from an F1, you can't, but if you have something that makes you eligible for a green card, then you can. So, i.e., you got married, then you can then process an adjustment of status based on the marriage. How can I speak to you directly? You can by scheduling a consultation and specifically ask for me. And then they will schedule you. It's just that sometimes it might not be tomorrow because other people are probably booked. It's just whenever my schedule allows it. Log Tracy says, good morning, my greatest lawyer ever. I love your work. Thank you so much. Love you guys. How long does it take to put a VAWA case together? It's different for everyone. It just depends on, the firm size, busyness, and what information we need from you. But it takes a couple of weeks, My 485 was denied because of the sponsor 6 months ago based on a marriage green card. and I came here in a B1, B2. They said you can't refile. Is it true? You can refile. You can refile. So you just need to refile again. Was your I-130 approved? If your I-130 was approved, you can just take that approved I-130 and submit it with the adjustment of status, the remaining application. If it wasn't, then just resubmit again. But as long as you entered in with the B1, B2, which is the same thing as a tourist or visitor's visa, you're eligible to refile. My VAWA case got transferred to a different center. Is this the reason why I haven't got a biometrics appointment yet? No, has nothing to do with it. Sometime last year, they started processing receipts at the Nebraska office, but VAWA is still processed the actual case in Vermont. So most people will be transferred to Vermont for them to make a decision. So that's probably what you saw. Okay, I'm going to take a couple more. Let's see. I've read this question. It's like it's repeating some of those questions. Good morning. I was approved for VAWA. Can I get an ID with my work permit? And how long will it take to get a green card? Congratulations. Absolutely. Of course, you can get an ID. You can get a driver's license with your work permit. And the green card, as I mentioned earlier, can take anywhere now from, a month to I would say max 6 months is what we've seen. Typically, once you're approved for VAWA, they will send you a request for your medical. And then once they send you a request for your medical and you submit it, they will approve you. We're definitely seeing more people around 2 months from VAWA approval, 3 months, but it could take up to 6 months. How long does adjustment of status and extreme hardship take? I'm not sure I understand the question. What are you talking about? You can have an adjustment of status and a 601A application. Is that what you're asking about? You can have those two together, but you can have a 601. Is that what you're talking about? If you have a 601 when you're doing, that's a misrepresentation and you have to show hardship, you can do that one with your not VAWA, you said adjustment of status. So it would take the same time it takes for an adjustment of status application. Chentoy says, I got my travel documents. Can I go to Jamaica to look for my mom? Good for you. Congrats. You going to Jamaica would depend on what kind of application you applied, what stage you are in your application, and ensuring that you don't have an asylum petition or a removal case. So all those things, without knowing much about your case, it's hard to answer. Assuming you don't have any of those things and you haven't been scheduled for an interview, you haven't received a notice of intent to deny or an RFE, you can certainly go. I'm very, very hesitant to tell my own personal clients to travel after they've had an interview or they receive an NOID or after we receive an RFE, because that time I feel like it's a waiting period where decisions can happen really quickly. And I don't want, if they make a bad decision, you're stuck out. Let's say they deny the person, they're now stuck outside. So, use that to determine the example for yourself, whether you're eligible to travel or not. I filed for, I answered this question already. Does a DUI record affect VAWA approval? Like any other criminal record, it depends, VAWA requires good moral character for 3 years. They don't require good moral character. If you have a DUI, one of the things that they're looking for, are you a habitual drunk? Depending on what your DUI was, it driving under the influence of what? So all those things are taken into account. If it's been something that was a long time ago, and you're able to show rehabilitation, you're able to show proof that, you have good moral character. This was a one-time thing. You're a better person. No one was harmed on whatever it is. It's at the discretion of the officer. Okay. Zoe Prey, I believe I answered your question earlier because I saw it 4 times. How long does it take for a child to file for their mom, being the child is a citizen and she's 19 years old? This will be my last question. A 19-year-old cannot file for their parent. You have to be over the age of 21 and a U.S. citizen to be able to file for your parent. And if you do that, the answer of how long it will take will depend on whether the parent is here in the U.S. or the parent is outside of the U.S. So the parent is here in the U.S. and came in with a visitor's visa, and they didn't cross the border or anything like that, or come in with a proven visa, it can take anywhere from like 6 to 12 months. If they are, a lot of times, most mom-child interviews are bypassed, at least in our experience. Sometimes the dads might get an interview, but most times the mom-child, we see a lot of bypasses. If it's outside the country, then you're looking at anywhere from 18 to 24 months on average. All right, guys, I hope you guys have a good day. I don't know my schedule tomorrow, but if I do come on, it'll be either around 9 or 9:30. All right, guys, I hope you have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye.